All right, so let's talk about the sharing of the numbers because I think that there's a lot of potential risk with this, but I think that there's benefit. So tell me about why you've chosen to share, but you're just open with all the numbers with your people.
I think transparency is important, especially because I found that the more transparent I am, the more loyal the staff is too. Like they understand that I'm everything we're doing is for their benefit, and real estate can be really nasty sometimes and it can be really intense because it's very cyclical. We'll hit months where like we'll have a really great week and then we'll have a really bad 3 weeks and it kind of like shifts the way people start working and things like that, right? So like this just happened recently where the month of May, the first 3 weeks were okay. And then our last week, right after Memorial Day, we had a record breaking week. And my entire team, they just felt like they were like at capacity and they couldn't do the work. And now when I talk to them on Monday, it's going to be like, hey, I know it's been like, it felt like a squeeze, but let me just go through the numbers so we can talk about how May wasn't really as good as we're feeling right now.
So okay, I am good with everything you've said up to this point. And I think that because we talk about like one of our quarterly rocks is based on the amount of fees we brought in, right? So I think things like that are really important. I will sometimes bring up like costs and all, and our team is very good about, hey, we're spending too much money here. We're using this software, and we rarely use it though. We should get rid of it. So I think having that kind of culture where like almost like that startup culture, I think that is really really important. That everyone is conscious of that. Here's where I'm wondering if you share this though. Does everyone know what everyone else is making?
No, they don't know that.
Okay, so there is a line. Okay,
There
so
is a
this is
line. Well, I
okay.
also hire people in different countries, right? So there's a stark difference in someone that's in New Jersey versus someone that's in like, Lima, Peru.
That's very true. There's also like can become issues where if the person in Lima, Peru is making more than the person in the United States, where because that could be there are those situations where that could happen too, depending on
Hmm.
the expertise of the person. So, so this is because I always I'm very curious about people that share salary information from employee to employee, and I was really curious if you shared that. So you and I are on the same page, I think, with most of it. Is there anything that you think that you share when it comes to a numbers perspective that you think that maybe most firm owners would kind of cringe at?
That I share?
Yeah, it's like, is there any other so I don't we don't like it's not like we share all of our financial documents
No, I
with
don't
the
like pull up a P&I, right? But like the numbers that I like on a weekly basis, I tell them what we've collected. And then I let them know once I meet with our CFO, our fractional CFO, I'm like, hey, these are our numbers for last month. These are the amount of closings that we had. These are the amount of files that got canceled. These are the fees that we brought in. And then these are the expenses that we had. So everyone knows what our break even point is because, I'm like, we have a break even point. Anything above X amount means like, I can bonus you guys. And so, like, basically, that's, kind of how I share with them.
nice.